Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today I want to show you how to make this little tea bag holder. The original design came from an Australian demo. I'm really sorry I can't remember her name, but I've resized it slightly to fit the tea bags that I wanted to put in there. So you can get these any supermarket. Just look for the ones that are individually wrapped. So Twinings do a set that have got different fruit teas. Tetley do these ones that are also in little envelopes. So the butterfly here is keeping it closed, and then as you open up you can pop these into these little so I've sized it so these fit really well. Now you could also put some jewellery in here, or you could, a bit of tissue paper in the bottom, put some money in there, maybe £5 in each slot or something. So it doesn't have to be tea bags. It could be this little yummy Lotus biscuits or something. Actually, I don't know if they might be a bit tall. I don't think they will. I think they'll fit. After eights, anything like that. So perfect for a little gift. And I just thought this looked really elegant. I tried it with various designer series paper, and this is actually one of the sets that's retiring. So pretty. So it was Peony Garden, and it says it's on back order, which means there is more coming in. They normally turn off ordering altogether if it's not going to be available at all. So it's still available to order, as is this gorgeous grey granite ribbon here. And in the suite, they pair it with what's the colour? Petal pink. But I thought this Costa Cabana went really well with it, so I've changed it up. I've been a bit of a rebel. Minimal supplies you need for this. Let's put that to one side. Really minimal. So you need a piece of grey granite cardstock, and this measures 8 1/4 inches, which is the width of our A4 cardstock, by 2.5 inches. So you can get lots of these out of one piece of cardstock. And then you need 2 pieces of, again, grey granite cardstock, and these measure 3 inches by 2 11/16. Now on your trimmer, that's the tiny mark. Where's my trimmer? It's the tiny mark just before the 2 3/4. So this one here, just below the 7 centimeters there. And the reason I did that is because I want to give you a little bit of give here if you don't quite get that lined up. So just to say that again, 3 inches by 2 11/16. And then you need tiny bits of designer series paper, and this one here measures 2 5/8 by 2 3/8, and this small piece here measures 2 3/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, so, and then a little teeny tiny bit of Costa Cabana. That's all you need, scrap. So I'll go ahead and show you how to score these. Okay, so on the long piece here, I've actually dented mine there. I'm not going to worry too much about that. So on the long piece, we're going to score this at 2 3/4 inches, 3 1/2, 6 1/4, and at 7 inches. That's all on that one. And then on these 2 pieces here, you need to have the 3-inch piece, the 3-inch side going along the top here, and then you're going to score it at every 1/2 inch. So 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2. You do that on both pieces here, and that's going to give you your concertina effect for your box. Scoring done, very simple. Okay, let's get this one back in shot. So if you have this in a kit from me, I'll have already rounded these 2 edges and also the corresponding designer series paper, and I've used the Detail Trio Punch, which, hooray, is staying in the catalogue. So there's a corner rounder here, and there's also this little detailed end, and you've got a little label kind of hole punch here. So with the smallest score line, so you've got a big one here, smallest at the top, you're going to slide that into the corner rounder and just do both edges, and the same with your small piece of designer series. Oops, nearly did the wrong end. So you want to do the ones that correspond with this here. Your smallest piece of designer series paper. Such a handy punch, that one. I'm so glad that that's still in the catalogue. Okay, so we're going to fold on all the score lines and just give them a quick varnish with your bone folder. I like to try and include in my kits, you know, something that's a little bit different, a cheap little gift that maybe someone's been helping you with shopping, or helping your parents with shopping in lockdown, or, you know, just someone my sister said she's going to give this to. I always run my projects past my sister when I'm designing them, just for, you know, a bit of reassurance that, you know, she's going to like them. She makes my projects. She doesn't live near me, but it's great because I do them by post. She can do it. And she's had a walking buddy, and so she's, you know, trying to get fitter in lockdown, and it's kept her, this lady has kept her on track. She's kept her going out when she might not be feeling like it. So she said, oh, that would be perfect for my friend. So there you go, Deanna. We've got a project just for you again. So on this one, we're going to, so with the score lines, you're going to fold away first and then fold back on yourself, and just keep going like that until you reach the end. And then at this point, maybe just run over with the bone folder when it's all folded up still. So people often ask me this. I have the slightly indented side facing me. I don't have the lumps. So this side, so I'm going to fold away first with the top one, then back on myself, and keep going like that. To be honest, if you fold it the other way, it's not the end of the world. You'll see when we put it together. So give that a little push down with your bone folder. So we've got 2 of these little concertina pieces here. So we're going to stick them on this section here. So you've got the lid that flaps over. This bit here is this top, and then this is the main section. This is then going to fold up for the front. So this is the piece we want to work on. Now, you want to have this flat piece going down first. So you have this straight edge on the inside, and you're going to line up this folded edge with this edge here. So kind of like that. And then you've got this kind of flapping out. Okay, so this, you can see from this side, this one here, this line is going to line up with that one just in there. Okay, so go ahead, flip this over. So you want it so that these are called like mountain valleys. So mountain goes up, valleys are down. So on this first piece here, which is the first section of the mountain, you're going to put some tape or glue on this side. Like I say, if you put it on the wrong side, it's really not the end of the world, because we just fold it back the other way. And I'm putting this fairly near the fold. Okay, again, not essential, but that's the bit that's actually going to stick near the edge. So that's why I wanted that. Same on this one. So on one of the edge pieces, I'm just going to put some tape. So you need something strong here. If you're using Tombow glue, perfectly fine, because it is super strong, but you obviously need to hold it in place for a bit longer. So like I say, this piece now that's got the tape on is going to fold down, and if you spread it out, that's how it's going to look. Okay, so this piece has got the tape underneath. So let's pull that off. And actually, we're going to put tape at either end. If you're using glue, don't put this on at this stage, because you're getting a bit of a sticky mess. But if you're using tape, just put tape on the other end of your piece as well. So there you go. That's the concertina folding up. So you've got tape on both ends. Okay, it's just easier if you're using tape to put that on at this stage. So we're going to take just one side off for now. Oops. If I can wiggle that underneath, there we go. Flip that over, and we're going to line the bottom and the top. And like I said, I've given you a little bit of extra room there. So there we go. That's the edge you're looking for. And then that's all going to fold up in there. Okay, so that's where you get your concertina edge from. We're going to leave that top one for now, and we're going to work on this other side as well. So take the backing off, line it up with the section. I'm trying not to get my head in here. Like I say, if you're using glue, just take a while to pin that down for a bit. So you've got both your sides now, and if you fold them back up, whoops, they concertina back like that. If yours don't, fold them the other way, it will still work just fine, okay? Now, this bit gets a bit more tricky because because we've got this whole section here, we can't just fold it over flat because obviously we're making way here. So once you're putting your glue or taking your backing off your tape, what you're trying to do is line up, again, this folded edge with this straight edge here. And you know, because this is springy, it's moving around, so it's not the easiest thing to hold. But what I tend to do is line up down the bottom here first, and then just try and get that in place. And if you're really quick with tape or glue, you can peel it back before it's kind of sealed down. So be brave. So I'm going to fold that up for a second. If it folds out in the meantime and you're still trying to line it up, it's fine because we can poke it all back in afterwards, okay? So take the backing off or put your glue on, whoops, at this stage as it's all folded up. And then, like I say, this folded edge of this, the top of this mountain fold here, and this straight edge here, we're going to line up along here. So let's try and get the bottom lined up. So it is a bit fiddly. Okay, so I'm trying to get it so that it's in line and it's not too much of the outside showing. And again, we can't just press it down to seal it, so you just need to run your finger along the inside, and if you're using glue, just hold it in there for now. Mine has sort of stayed in a concertina shape, but like I say, if it's pressed out, say if this one's let's see if I can do it. So if this one's all coming out like this, you just kind of feed it back in to where it needs to go and it will behave again. Okay, so this side slightly more tricky again. Concertinaed up, you're sticking this edge, this folded mountain edge to this piece here, okay? So backing off or glue on. Have a little practice without the glue on if you want to, and you know, rewind me if you want to just check where I'm going with this first. But I'm going to line it up at the bottom there, and again at this stage, if I think, oh no, look, I can peel it away a little bit. So but mine, actually that one was easier bizarrely than the other one. Okay, so there you have your little springy sides, and obviously don't push at the bottom because we've got this whole section here which doesn't want to be moved really. Now I'm going to put the designer series paper on. So this is slightly longer, so make sure you get the right way, longer than wide. So a bit of glue on the back, whoops, and there's a very small border around, but I just wanted to show as much of the designer series paper as I could because it's so pretty. But obviously you can do any papers on here and just pick out a coordinating cardstock. You could even have these bits as a different color cardstock, however you want. And then on this piece, obviously line up so that these pieces that were had the corners rounded are at the bottom as well. So again, a border all the way around. It's really hard once you round corners to get it perfectly even, but it'll still look good. Ooh, keep going slightly off with my glue. I'm getting a bit tired because it's quite late at night. Okay, so I'm going to fix this on here, and with the glue, the beauty is that you've got a few seconds to move it around, get it where you want it, and then it sticks fast. So at that stage you have no chance of moving it again. And I was thinking of using ribbon to seal this down, or you could use a little magnet here, but actually I really liked the idea of this butterfly being the closure. And because I've opened and closed mine a few times, it does pop up now and then. But this is using the Brilliant Wings butterfly dies. I couldn't think of the word there. So you get lots and lots of different ones in here, and I've used one of the smaller, more detailed butterflies from there to cut this one out. In the kit, you might just need to poke out a few of the extra little cutout bits there. Now with the ribbon, just going to see if I can see my piece. Yeah, all I did with this was fold it over so that you've got a nice little kind of offset piece here. So I put a glue dot, oops, trying to do this one-handed now, a glue dot in between the two pieces where I want to keep them in place. So I'm just going to peel that one back, put a glue dot here. So I wanted to get it so that they're offset here, and we can cover this glue dot up if it's still showing with the butterfly, so don't worry about that. And when you go to stick it on here, we're going to use another glue dot, but we also need to make sure, actually I might need to stick the butterfly on first. You need to have enough of the butterfly coming up at an angle so that it keeps it trapped, because if you don't have too much showing, it is just going to flip up. Okay, so at this stage I haven't attached them. I want it coming off the end here, and I want him to sit on here and capture that closure of the box. So he needs to come at an angle, say like that. Okay, so you can always stick him on, or you can stick the ribbon on first, but maybe we'll go ahead and stick him on first, because we need to then position it so it's not too far down, so it does capture that. So he's kind of sticking to that glue dot I have underneath anyway, so let's put that under there. And then a couple of glue dots I'd say on the back, on the back of the ribbon, just to really keep it in place. And then just have a play around until you see, you don't want him too far around there, so you really want him up in the air like that. And then you can just open the box and press it together so that he's firmly in place. Have a little practice. Hooray! He's stopping it, and in fact I might have needed to go up a little bit higher, but it's fine. He's doing his job. And then finally I used from the same suite as the designer series paper, the Elegant Faceted Gems, and I'm just going to pop one here, one of the smaller ones, just in the middle of the butterfly. You may have a slightly bigger one in your kit. Like I say, you can, if it's really not in the right position, you can really gently pick it up, but be careful because the paper may tear. So you may just actually want to maybe put a glue dot under his wing up here just to keep him in place. But there we have it, the little tea box gift holder. I hope you've enjoyed making that. Take care. See you soon. Bye.